Well, we've got an interesting roller coming along the top now, approaching the commentary point. This is a little Roby tandem. We've got several here, so yes, I know which one it is. I've not sorted out. It's Leicester Solomon all the way up from Truro. Quite unique, these engines. Several of them have survived, but you can see there the idea is to have the two equal width rolls, and they are very quick to reverse, so that they could be used to get a nice smooth finish on your road. Quite nicely, and have done a lot of miles with it. So as I say, one of the fairly unique tandem rollers. Most of the rollers are what we call three-point rollers, if you like, where you've got a wide front roll and two back rolls, looking like smooth wheels. But as I say, the little tandem Roby there is quite different in that respect. There's several. Whereas, of course, with a steam engine, you've got an hour and a half to get up steam before you can start work. So productivity was so much greater with something of that sort. Alan Eaton has owned that engine for many, many years, and it's nice that it's actually not been restored back to its original form, because it gives you an opportunity to see the sort of ingenuity that was put into converting an engine to keep it going. Nicely, is that a Ruston? Yes. I think it is. Lovely little single cylinder there, midnight. I'm pretty sure it's a Ruston. We're going to have a bit of a battle as the day goes on, because with 160 rollers, we're going to put a foot in it. More were built with a 10-litre petrol engine originally, and so most of the ones that have survived have had a transplant to make them more economical.
Well, I actually hitched the lift down, you might have noticed, from the top of the hill on an Explorer, and certainly. And
he was keeping a steady 30 miles an hour, actually. We found
what you met up with, didn't you?
There's the Pioneer, Scammell Pioneer. He's got the Scammell land train in tow, the S24 Scammell. Again, been fitted with wrecking gear, probably later in its life.
What model is that Winty? Is it?
That's the Super Constructor.
Super Constructor, right.
That was probably I would think, probably one of the most numerous models they built.
That's owned by Thomas Bain.
Quality product, John.
Absolutely.
Fine and make of it.
And all the important people in the world have those, isn't that right?
Absolutely, so they say. Not that I'm biased in any way.
But no, that's a lovely engine, and Thomas has done a lot of work on that in the last few years, and done a lot of travelling by road and things with it.
This is that burrow just coming up now, chopping them off.
You wouldn't have to look in here, that's burrow A-class single cylinder. Is it time to say something about singles and compounds?
Probably,
and did a huge amount of work on West Country roads for many, many years.
Was it called Lydia?
It was, yes.
No, I'm completely wrong, then I've been talking rubbish, but then that'll come as no surprise. It actually belongs to Carl Woolford from Burgess Hill in West Sussex.
Yes, I think so.
I was right that it's the compound.
The engines and the loads over the steel sheets, and then moved the sheets from the back to the front all the time, and that's why it took so long. Interesting engine going down the centre there. That's the Olchin Royal Chester, the last engine built by William Olchin in Northampton. That was built in 1925, and although it only ever will be the one and only Royal Chester, so named because it was due to appear when new at the Royal Show in Chester, it became famous because somebody got...
It's its first steam rally in preservation here at the Great Dorset. Isn't that marvellous?
There we are. And what a good job they've made of it.
An awful lot of midnight oil has been burnt by some of the roller boys to get here to this event, which is absolutely bloody great. I'm really thrilled about it, because it encouraged a lot of people to get stuck in and get their engines up and going, and as you might say.
Well, of course, in the early days, I mean, thinking of rollers and particularly agricultural engines, you never ever saw an agricultural engine mechanically on, because presumably on the basis that the ploughman walked behind his horses, the carter either walked with his horses or rode on the wagon. None of them had any cover at all. They were out in the weather, so why should the traction engine driver have any cover?
I was reading in Sunday's notes about one roller that it was fitted with an obscure canopy off the wrong make of engine, because when it was issued to the driver, he wouldn't drive it because he hasn't got a roof on, and his older one had. So they had to find a roof and get it on a bit sharp before he would go out. Yeah.
Now, there's one of our interesting European rollers coming up here, spectaculair, I think it is. And I think you know all about it.
No, you carry on. You've got the name right.
Well, I'm afraid I don't mind admitting, to my shame, I have no idea about the company whatsoever. And I really thought, Andrew, you've got this one sorted, but never mind.
Hard luck. No, not the case.
It's French families living in those living vans. And a lot of the makers, like Edison's that we mentioned, and Buncombs, people like Bomford and Everchurch up in Worcestershire, they built their own living vans for their crew. And there's some lovely examples up over there which are still doing the job that they were intended to do. And it's good to have them have their own section. Oh, first of our wagons coming around. Well-known wagon in my part of the world, in the Taunton area. This is a Foden, HH type, I think it is. It's owned by Jess Walren from the Langford area. Jess driving it there at the moment. Regular here at the Steamfair, always around the heavy haulage arena, the Playpen area. Started its life with Swindon Corporation and then ended its days with W.J. King, the contractors from Bishop Lydiard outside Taunton. And Jess and a group of friends bought it totally derelict in 1971 at the sale. Families living in those living vans. And a lot of the makers, like Edison's that we mentioned, and Buncombs, people like Bomford and Everchurch up in Worcestershire, they built their own living vans for their crew. And there's some lovely examples up over there which are still doing the job that they were intended to do. And it's good to have them have their own section. Oh, first of our wagons coming around. Well-known wagon in my part of the world, in the Taunton area. This is a Foden, HH type, I think it is. It's owned by Jess Walren from the Langford area. Jess driving it there at the moment. Regular here at the Steamfair, always around the heavy haulage arena, the Playpen area. Started its life with Swindon Corporation and then ended its days with W.J. King, the contractors from Bishop Lydiard outside Taunton. And Jess and a group of friends bought it totally derelict in 1971 at the sale. Here in the commentary box, there's the hill going up beyond. That's for those of you who don't know this heavy haulage arena very well. Its official title is the heavy haulage arena, but it's known to all and sundry as the Playpen, because people come in and do exactly what they're doing at the moment, play. But they also give very, very valuable demonstrations, obviously. And the area where it narrows between the bushes up there, between the hedges and crossing the road, is called Watford Gap. And the area up beyond Watford Gap, we have always been told, or led to believe, that it's 1 in 12. But Dave Allen, who for some years has looked after this area, he told me earlier this week, or earlier last week,
For a period of years, he and his son set to, and they rebuilt the roller, had a lot of parts made for it, so great credit to them. Lovely to see. What have we got now?
Wallace and Stevens going by. I didn't notice which one it is, but Wallace and Stevens, of course, Basingstoke, they built a huge number of engines of all kinds, wagons and rollers, traction engines. And the most famous of people like Coulson is one of the most famous haulage companies of its day. And Pickford, of course, which has got some parts.
Yep, we've got another Camel, and the Camel Mountaineer coming round in Pickford's livery. Not the most commodious of cabs, really, is it, when you look at it, in the early ones?
It's not much bigger than the average sort of bedroom campers.
No. Well, it was actually a bit of a headache because if they wanted to carry more than one man, where did he sit? So that's why, of course, they went on to the crew cabs in the later version.
This S26, this one?
Yes. Yeah. Yes, I had a ride up the hill in that last year. It's a real wolf in sheep's clothing. Because you think, well, if you took the box off, it would look like any Arctic tractor. In fact, it's a sort of 200-tonner. Works for the RAF. I think it was used for pulling big radar units around.
Right.
As I say, the forward control cab, makes it look very much like any other
Innocuous.
truck. Yes,
Innocuous.
that's the word. Yeah, very good word. Pleased with that. Innocuous. I'll remember that.
No, it's just
That's the beauty of spell check, isn't it, nowadays? Until you try to spell wagon the way Central was on it.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, here's Nick just backing up the hill with that lovely barrel, due to 10, and they'll get round, they will get their head facing uphill, and they will then hopefully start loading logs.
Another load of happy campers going by.
Mr. Wakeham learning to steer.
Another wave. No, they're not good at waving today, I don't think. That's the word we'll get around. What's next to the moving yet?
Oh, he's got 2 or 3 billion cubes directly on the trailer there to load up.
Ah, right. Oh, he's loading up the trailer. Of course, Nick does timber loading demonstrations and so on in the arena here, and obviously they're obviously heavy, as you can see.
Fascinating photos. Why they put so many photos in the background?
And daughter and her sister and
One of my colleagues' favourite